Okay, we're gonna go mow some hay today. Now that we're back on the work schedule. Actually, I've been doing stuff on and off, or doing stuff all week, but we've been working on Rand Tool videos, so. But I got some more beans walked and stuff like that. My sickle bar showed, or my new cutter bar showed up for the grain table, so that's down in the barn. I had to go down to Wyatt and get that. I did a bunch of running, like taking care of a bunch of crap that got neglected being gone all last week. But anyway, hay mowing. This is probably gonna be a fairly short video. I might even put music to it. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in when I get back to the house, so you'll know here in a minute. But gonna be a fairly busy weekend. I gotta get hay made. I don't know if we'll be able to make it in 3 days. I'm hoping to be able to bale it Sunday, but it's supposed to be warm, like upper 80s, lower 90s here for the next few days. But we've been getting really cool at night, and we've been getting some pretty heavy dews. So I don't know how much that's going to slow me up. I don't know if it's going to be 3-day hay or 4-day hay, but either way, should not have any problem getting it made without getting rained on this time, because we don't have any rain scheduled for the next 7 days. So like not even a slight chance. It's supposed to be sunny and it's supposed to be a really nice week actually, other than being a little warm for the next 3-4 days. So get hay cut tonight. Tomorrow we're gonna go back to working on the new hay field. Well, we won't go into too much detail. I'll explain more of that, but we're gonna go back to getting the new hay field. We're working on the new hay field tomorrow. I got seed. The soil test came back. We'll talk about all that later, but I'm hoping to have that planted tomorrow, probably Sunday, by the time we get all the groundwork done. And then if I end up having to rake hay tomorrow afternoon too. So this weekend I want to have third cutting made and have that new hay field planted and ready to walk away, because hopefully Monday I really want to start working on combines. I don't have a whole lot to do to them in the grand scheme of things, but I do. And actually, I should cut you off here. I gotta go. I got 2 bearings I want to order for the 7300. I should do that yet today. So we'll get through this introduction here real quick, and then I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll go cut hay. But I got the 8700 basically just needs a general service, unless I find anything on it while I'm going over it. The corn head's fine. The grain table, we're just changing that sickle bar over, which should be a fairly straightforward project. And the 7300, I think I got 2 bearing, or I got a bearing on it and I want to change, and there's a bearing on the grain table I want to change. And I think we're just going to send her for the year. My new rims for the grain truck should be ready early next week, and I can get my tires, and then the grain truck's got to get the new drives put on it, and that's got to get serviced. But I'm hoping to get all of my fall service done here within like the next 2 weeks, to give me a little bit of a reprieve in between working on stuff and the actual start of harvest. And there's a couple videos, like some Oliver related videos and some other stuff I'd like to sneak in toward the end of September, time allowing. So, but that's kind of where we're looking now that we're past Rand Tool, because that was a big hurdle to get over. So anyhow, the reason I got the screwdriver, I have, if anybody remembers on second cutting, I hooked that chunk of rebar and didn't realize what it was until I finally had the breakaway let loose on me twice. I didn't break it, but I bent and cracked that sickle. And I think we'll find out here in a second if I can sneak it right there. I don't think I'm even gonna have to. It's that one, right? Yeah, that guy right there. So with it in that position, I should just have to crack these crack the bolts loose and sneak it out and sneak the new one in. But before I forget, because I want to get the stuff coming, I'm gonna go in and order them bearings real quick. So I'll be right back. Okay, I got my bearings ordered, so that's done. People always ask where I get parts for this old stuff, and you know, surprisingly, like 80% of the time right from a dealer. I mean, I give these cheapy shoot sickles credit. I mean, it tweaked it, but it didn't break it all the way. And honestly, I didn't even notice that it was broken until I got folded up. So I must have this thing set up pretty decent for it to cut on a broken sickle and not plug or streak or really do anything noticeably off. And also, bolt-on sickles. Way, way, way better than rivet-on. Especially if you can get them in between the hold downs where you can get to them. You just watch me change the sickle in, what, a minute? So that was the only one screwed up. So we can fold this back up. I have to tighten my drawbar bolt because I just put it in there by hand to move it. And I'm going to check the fuel in the tractor, and while I'm here I'll probably go ahead and get the 66 hooked up to the crimper, and we will be off, so hang tight. Okay, let's see how stubborn she wants to be since she's been sitting here for a while. I've been looking for a carburetor for this thing to try to solve my sitting for a while. It leaks zero fuel on the floor. There's no, that's a front main seal leak that needs to get fixed at some point when I do the bottom end of the motor, but it leaks no fuel. It puts a little bit in the bowl and then it wants to start hard. Then after you get it running, you could start it, run it the rest of the day, it will be just fine. But been looking for a carburetor. It's a Marvel Shebler TSX 383. Supposed to be the same as the 66, and the early 77s are supposed to use the same one. And I've kind of been not too super serious looking, but I have been looking on and off every once in a while. And I haven't found one yet. I did try calling Coors, and they don't stock any carburetors. And I'm sure I could find an aftermarket Chinese one, but I don't want an aftermarket Chinese one. I want an original one, and I'll just rebuild it. But got to do something, because I've had 2 carb kits in that one, and the problem, I'm not going to say it's getting worse, but I surely can't make it any better. I've tried. It'll do this when you first start it, and if I let it sit for a day or 2, it'll fire right up. You still let it sit for like 3, 4 or more days in a row. This is what it does. Come on, girl, work with me here. The float doesn't have a hole in it because it's not, it's not fuel logged. There's nothing in it. So it's not like the float's screwing it up. I think there's something physically wrong with that carburetor, which carburetors do wear out. That is a thing. Like I say, I have not had much luck so far finding an original carburetor for it, but I have been looking. All right, let's see if we can get through this without any issues. The county parked one of their mower tractors here the other day, kind of stomped some of this stuff down, so hopefully I don't plug on it. I think we'll be all right. go. Got to get the cylinder to go slack so you can get the bar down in there.
Childhood days, the Sawmill way alive, where I grew up to love a rich girl who could never be my wife. And the roses near their mansion on the cool southern ground, she cut a memory into mine, but I had to leave that town. Dirt poor backwoods I was raised, now the lawman's coming round. Mama said I raised a good boy, but he burnt the sawmill down. It's been years since I left Georgia, and I left there on the run. They say her daddy's still in a rage over what I'd done. But he shot at me for loving her, thought he'd run me out of town. But I hid until the morning light, then I burned his sawmill down. I still love that long-haired girl, there's a price tag on my head. Her daddy owns a county law, and if I go back there, I'm dead. So I just dream of southern roses and miss the love we found. Lord, I wish I'd never been born poor or burnt the sawmill down. It's been years since I left Georgia, and I left there on the run. They say her daddy's still in a rage over what I'd done. He shot at me for loving her, thought he'd run me out of town. But I hid until the morning light, then I burned his sawmill down. Dirt poor backwoods I was raised, now the lawman's coming round. Mama said I raised a good boy, but he burnt the sawmill down. Mama said I raised a good boy, but he burnt the sawmill down.
Okay, we are all cut and conditioned. Man, I really do love this hay mix. This is an awesome mix. It wasn't overly tall. Well, I mean, it's taller than it was last time I cut it, and it was more consistent last time around, because most of first cutting grew without much rain, this whole low area right here basically had nothing in it. And now this time around it's fairly consistent. The only spots that are a little are where you dip back down in that little dork that heads toward the railroad tracks, and then like right here along this ridge where I moved all the dirt. Everything else was probably, I don't know, yay tall or so for the most part, and really, really thick and really, really lush. So if we can get, I don't know, maybe 35, maybe 40, but I doubt we're gonna make it to 40. But if we can get 30, if we can get north of 35, maybe, fingers crossed. If the whole field grew like the long rows up here on top of the hill, this would be pretty consistent 50 bales to the acre. But that side hill there really kind of screws you. But anyhow, I'm gonna go home and throw this video together real quick and get home and get dinner, because I'm hungry and I really want to get to bed, because I have yet to get fully recovered from Rantoul. I've been running on backup batteries all week, so I plan on doing a little sleeping in this weekend and try to play catch up. But we've also got a lot of work to get done this weekend, so. Oh, and I gotta, I'm sure you noticed this, my dang PTO spinner tube. It actually did this when I was pulling it over to Mom and Dad's. It popped off the groove. I'm gonna have to either figure out a source for these old style nylon bushings, because the new style doesn't work. They're too big, because the plastic spinner tubes are bigger in diameter. Or get some plastic and try to make some on my own or something. But we're gonna have to do something, because I don't like that. I like to have that tube up there where it belongs, so it's actually protecting you like it's supposed to. So, but for now, and I'll slip the shaft apart and one afternoon take it over to Mom and Dad's and knock the nylon out and let's reassemble it back like it's supposed to, and hopefully it stays, because the back one did it to me and I put it back together and it's been staying. So maybe I'll get lucky and the front one will stay for a little while longer. But anyway, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.